In this video, we're going to talk about becoming the person that shifts into the person that is willing to take action on using your talents that you're probably pushing aside, or you're not able to find time to use those talents with your busy schedule, with your work schedule, with your family. In this video, we're going to go through a few steps for you to become aware of the program that you may feel like you don't have what it takes to include this talent into your life anymore. And when you bring awareness to it and realize that it's just a program, then you can begin to take action on becoming someone who uses these talents. Whether you're using them as a side business, a small social media business, YouTube business, or just as a hobby. Either way, you're going to be using it as someone that is living a loving life filled with passion and purpose. Because most of us who have these talents, there's a feeling of we are giving value to others by performing whatever the task is, whether it's music, art, speaking, being a YouTuber, being a drummer, being a guitar player, being someone who does paintings. You could be selling those paintings online. You could be putting yourself out there in the form of reels on social media. There are many different ways to start to include this into your life and not have to quit what you're currently doing to take a huge chance on yourself. But also, don't X that out as a possibility, because putting yourself into the uncomfortable, that's where the universe will then send you the steps on what to do next. And things will start aligning with you because the frequency that you choose to be in. And when I talk about elevating our vibe and attracting the dream life, we are elevating the vibration. That is the inner energetic vibe and the energetic force field around our body to that of a successful person that can then use our talents to become it and not have to think and analyze, how am I going to start to fit that into my life? And it will naturally just come to you when the time is right. And being able to use it as a business, well, you will study others. You will get the scribbler and the pen, like I've mentioned in a past video. You take notes. Take notes on people you're inspired by. You want to be a YouTuber? Take some notes. Go back to my first video into where I'm at now. There's a huge difference there. The energy I've embodied, successful YouTuber. You just become it. It's not in the form of validation, in the form of numbers. No one's going to give you permission. I can scream at the camera, do it, start doing it, start today. Like those 50,000 videos that everyone on YouTube made with the thumbnail that says start today. I'm sure that you landed on one. I even probably tried to do one there probably 50 or 75 videos ago. But that doesn't work. It has to come from within. You know that. If you watch something, you get the advice. If you're not resonating with that advice and you don't feel like you could be the person who does that, then you don't do it. You watch the video and then you skip to something else. You're like, oh, this felt great while I watched it, and you move on to the next thing. Whether it's something from outside of you to make you feel a certain way, some kind of validation from other people, if that's what makes you elevate your vibe, is dependent on the outside. When you start to practice meditation, you could tune into the abundance frequency, like a very important meditation I made, very powerful one. And then money will start to flow into your life naturally because you tune into the frequency of not needing money, of not needing online success, not needing to know what the next step is on creating that business. You just become it who takes action. You don't have to overthink this stuff. You don't have to analyze it. You use the thinking mind as the friend. You're no longer living in the negative. You are the successful being. Just look at me. I made a very powerful video when I had to leave my parents' place to start on this quest, to start on this journey to becoming someone who individuates from the dependency on everything being paid for, my meals, my rent, some gas. Well, I could afford my own gas money, but I could also afford weed, drugs, and alcohol anytime I wanted it. And what did I do with my time? I went for drives in my car around the community. I felt negative energy because when you live in a small, poisonous community where everything is just rumors that are spoken about one another. Oh, look at this one, or look at that one. Look at what they're doing for a living. This one still lives with their dad. That one is talking crap about that person. This one cheated on that other person. You become a product of the environment. I'm not saying you have to leave your small community to become someone greater. I'm saying that you need to become the observer of the program and bring awareness to it to be able to put a stop to it. Now, back to that story, I had to move out of my parents' place, right? And I'm not saying that financial assistance from our parents to help us become a greater person is a bad thing. I'm saying if you just stay stuck living in the same vibration, the same way that you are living, that just plays video games, goes for drives maybe, comes home high, watch some porn, elevate your vibe to that of 9.5, to watch some nice hot porn on the computer, on your cell phone. You're accessing that on Instagram and TikTok there. Half the women showing off their arse end and their tops. You know, it's poisonous nowadays. That's all that social media is. It's so easily accessible, but when you become the observer of the program, you know that is just something that is a desire. And you're living in the chart, as per the chart by David Hawkins. If you're not able to let go and just allow desire to be there and know that you are not the person who needs to observe and watch those body parts as a quick high, and then you let one go in the form of ejaculation and you drop back down to a 1.5, your creative energy is completely gone. You've got nothing to give on this talent. Now, when I moved out of my parents' place and got away from that life, got away from the drugs, the using porn, because I was a single man, then I took action on finding a woman, finding actual human beings to have relations with, instead of depending on these outside sources in the form of social media and pornography. You take your energy back and you become the most confident man or woman that is non-dependent on that. And I'm not saying that taking some time for yourself and some self-care and masturbation, I'm not calling you a bad person for using that. I want you to be aware of the program. If you're currently someone who does it, once a week, everything in moderation is okay. But see, if it's an addiction that you're doing once a day, every single day, you're not going to get to use your creative energy on these talents. So when I moved out of my parents' place, I figured out how to live on my own, how to have a full-time job instead of working only seasonally, and then having all that time for myself. And I wish I could go back in time and have all that time again because of the social media businesses I'm building now as a one-on-one coach with the music. I'm using the music to teach others and to do drum covers. So when you step into the person who's good enough to do it, you become it. You find the time, okay? If I can find time, you surely can. And most of you know what I do for a living right now. And I'm in the process of getting away from it. as I create this business, as I become a monetized YouTuber, and I'm doing a drum channel on the side, I find the time, okay? I have 3 or 4 days with my family. I spend as much time as I can with them. And then I'm making drum videos and I'm making personal development content for YouTube and social media. I'm pouring myself into giving value to others. That's what makes me feel love. That's what makes me feel like life is fulfilling. I'm worth something. You know, I told you guys in a few videos ago that I dealt with a lot of unworthiness. I had to get rid of it. I had to learn to let it go through meditation, through some deep shadow work. Going back to my inner child. We'll do some of that work on the channel here on future videos. But finding the time is the step 1, taking action. So I'm gone all week. I'm a truck driver. I'm driving between here and Quebec, or sometimes Massachusetts and New York. You think that stops me from being a full-time YouTuber? No. Most people would be like, well, you know, I'm a trucker and I don't have time to do any of that stuff. Well, you must not want it bad enough, because all you need to do is take your tripod and you need a cell phone that records in 4K or 1080p and start doing it. Well, how do I get good at it? Because I don't have time to do that stuff. How do you get good at it? You start being it and you embody the energy of the successful you, which is a later step. The successful you become it. It's not through the validation, and the numbers will come later because of the energy you are projecting, the energy you are embodying is that of a teacher. And then you can then start brainstorming. Let's say you're someone who works away from home, like me, for an example. You travel. Well, use that time that you're away from your family to do some brainstorming and do up some type of journal or a mission statement. What's your mission statement? What's the type of goal you'd like to achieve by 2025 or the end of 2025? You know, when I started that mission statement, I got into these meditative practices and working on myself. 75% of what I wrote down is true now. Because I became it, I gave myself permission to be it. And then I took action in these elevated states. And you want to elevate your vibe to get on this level like me? You meditate that energy out of the body. And then the thinking, acting, and feeling becomes in alignment with using your talents. Like me, who makes YouTube videos for personal development, or the drum channel. And focus your energy on one thing at a time. I do the drum channel. I've been playing drums since I was 13 years old. It doesn't take much preparation. Same as this now. Being a YouTuber that does personal development, do I need to use Chat GPT to give me the titles? Do I need to steal other people's titles and ideas, which people claim that I'm stealing people I'm inspired by's titles? Where do you think they got the title? You know, half or 75% of YouTube, everyone is recycling different titles and topics. But the key is, you're not stealing everything they said in that video. You're using it to give the messages and the story and the teachings in your own words. And I'm not afraid to say I'm inspired by Aaron Doughty. I love his material. He was one of the people who inspired me to have the power within, to bring the energy back within my frame. He taught me the inner frame technique and how I don't have to feel other people's energy and tension, and that I can just be myself on the channel here and make my own. Sure, I'm inspired by him and I have no shame or guilt. And I went and studied some of his old videos and what he talks about. And then I started to apply it in my own words, in my own story, and attract my own tribe. People who resonate with me, like you guys. Some of you're probably very open. You're into spirituality. Some may like music. If you like these videos where I talk about talent. So let's get back to it here. Space for yourself. Now, when I used to be into fitness in the gym, I would wake up in the mornings. When I came home, now I'm trying to be a truck driver and I'm trying to be in good shape there. I had to get rid of the belly down below. And I had to focus, at the time my energy was, okay, I get home, I'm going to go to the gym first thing in the morning. But I didn't have time to be in a flow state and embody the energy of this new self. I was still living through a program in autopilot mode. And I'm not saying waking up and going to the gym first thing in the morning is a bad thing. It's actually a great thing. If you guys are into physical fitness, taking care of your health, these are excellent things. But you can also fit that in a little later in the morning, and here's why. When you first wake up in the morning, you're just coming out of theta and alpha brain states where your brain waves are moving slower. And that's where you can connect your mind and your body by brain and heart coherence. And in the meditative states, the flow states, you feel pure love throughout the body. And that's the time of day where your creative is at an all-time high. The ideas will just flow in because you'll be connected to the divine that will just give you the ideas. This video today, I just allow the divine to flow in. Nothing scripted. I step into the full-time YouTuber Dale Landry here. I make the video and I allow the ideas to just come. I just naturally am a person who makes a video every morning. I don't have to force myself to do it. I don't have to think what I'm going to do next. I just become it and do it. And then I teach about it. So taking space for yourself to embody that flow state, that's where you're going to generate those energies of, okay, I could play guitar again. All right, I could play drums again. When I started playing drums again and showing people that I'm back involved with music, I'm not just driving around in my community, smoking weed, coming home, watching porn, masturbating, and ejaculating. I'm taking the time for myself to know that's an old program, and I choose to be in this new program that is living through my purpose and passion. And that's someone who fits being able to make a drum video once or twice a week. Even though I'm a truck driver, I'm taking the time to distribute content to people. And you don't need to be a content creator. You don't need to be making video for social media or YouTube. You could just be doing it for yourself. You're going to be embodying feelings of love just for taking that time for yourself. Just try this week. Try just 1 or 2 mornings of being in a flow state. Practicing one of my morning meditations. I'll link the higher self meditation up there, where you can become the observer of the old program and shift into the new you. One that actually uses their talents to create things for other people and give value and also feel the love just for being the person you are being, not for the validation you would get in return for being that way. You just do it for the sake of doing it. And then when you embody those feelings like the meditation I just mentioned, you will then begin to act, think, and feel as the new you. Now, when you're living in those states, that's where the good ideas will come. That's where the flow state will come. But if you're living in the old program, you're going to practice drums once, you're going to practice guitar once, and then you're going to go back to watching porn, smoking weed, drinking, talking crap about your friends, talking crap about this and the other one from your home community. You're not going to be in the elevated states of flow state. That is the most confident you. That is the most successful you. You do that by working on yourself and connecting with the divine, knowing that there's something greater out there that has our backs. And we elevate our vibe here on the channel. And I am a guidance, a teacher to help you connect with your spiritual guide. And then you can start to use these things as your passion, purpose, and possibly a small business. So embody those feelings. Embody the feelings of the successful you. You're going to see visions of your higher self in that meditation. You're going to connect with him and he's going to give you a message. And most likely that message is going to be connected to what you're really good at doing or what you used to do. That's your talent. You can start to incorporate your talent. I'll give you an example. Mine was, you need to get involved with music again. And you need to do something with personal development that helps other people. That's what it eventually became, but at first it was music. And then the cover band Full Circle found me. And I became the drummer of a full-time cover band that plays every weekend. But I changed my energy to that of the musician who's doing it all the time. My most passionate musical projects, though, that's the drum channel. That is the YouTube stuff I'm doing, where I'm doing music that I am extremely passionate about, and the people who follow me love. Because they know that's the real me. That's me being authentic with my drumming, showing people how to play those cover songs. The same way I am on this personal development journey, on this channel as the full-time YouTuber, I am my pure, authentic self. I'm not afraid to dive deep and go back to my past. But I know that I've put the past to rest, that it's just a program. I use it on here as examples to show you guys you don't need to stay living like that forever. That you can start to take action as the new you that uses your talents to inspire other people. And that's where you're going to feel love, is to give with the looking for nothing in return. Like seeing somebody who's poor on the side of the road with a dog, and you feel bad that this guy's not going to be able to feed his dog. Give him the $5 or whatever change is in your pocket. The universe will reflect that back to you, that you're not living in the lack of that $5. You're not living in the lack of being able to give value to other people. You're not living in the lack that, well, things never work out for me, so why would I use what I'm talented as, what I'm talented doing as my full-time or as my part-time hobby, which could potentially become a business for you. So take those 4 steps and make sure to elevate your vibration permanently with the meditation, and I'll link it in the top corner. Elevate your vibe permanently. It's also another good meditation. But when you elevate your vibe, you become the observer and you lose the current identity. If your current identity, you're still kind of stuck in the old vibration and you want to move towards somebody who is in a new vibration, like you guys have watched me grow from the beginning. My vibration on my first 10 videos on here was much different. And I embodied that I have what it takes to do this. This is one of my talents, is being myself on the YouTube channel to inspire others to start to attract their dreams and start to perform and take action, become a performer. What makes me different from others is I use the musical aspect a lot. And I want you guys, if you're into music or anything that has to do with art, painting or music, to start to apply yourself, start to embody the energy of the successful you through those meditations, and start to take action on that dream. Now, I'm going to link a very important video at the end here, which was my first video on you using your talents as your full-time, or starting to use your talents and not allowing busy life to consume you and to control and run you. I thank you for watching this one.